بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة على رسول الله عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال يقول الله تعالى ما لعبدي المؤمن عندي جزاء إذا قبضت صفيه من أهل الدنيا ثم احتسبه إلا الجنة. That he says on the authority of Abu Hurairah رضي الله عنه, said that the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم says that Allah Azza wa Jal, so this is a Hadith Qudsi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that my servant shall have, if he is patient when he loses a beloved of his, he will have nothing less than Jannah. Safiya means like from the word istafa, right? When you select somebody. So it means somebody that's very close to you. It could be a child, it could be a parent, it could be your spouse, it could be like a very close friend, somebody that you have love for. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes their soul, and you are patient with that, and you take your reward with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will reward you with Jannah. So this shows that the sabr in the dunya is greater, like we said in a previous hadith, or there was a previous hadith explained that it's one of the greatest gifts a person can have, because with sabr they get into Jannah. When certain affairs happen to you and you are patient, because really you don't have much control over it. Like no matter how much you grieve, no matter how much you're sad, you can't bring that person back, right? So realizing that and understanding that there's a hikmah in it, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does as He wills, and you are patient with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's decree and will, you get rewarded with Jannah. And they say that, the smallest place in Jannah, like one narration says that the space of a whip in Jannah is greater than the dunya and everything in it. So imagine, being patient, and for something that really there's nothing else better to do than be patient, and with that you will get the reward of Jannah. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows it's tough for us to lose loved ones, right? So He's giving us this hadith, and Qudsi, hadith Qudsi means that basically it's inspired by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and narrated by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as opposed to the Quran, which is inspired by Allah, but also it's the words of Allah directly. This one, like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's different from the Quran, but it's from Allah. It's different from the regular ahadith. So yes, it also shows the actions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all His actions are considered khair. They're all considered good. Allah doesn't do anything of shar, and even though it might be shar to the person, right? It's not, the action overall is not shar from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? We can never attribute evil to Allah. So in this case, for example, it's hard for a person to lose their beloved, but for that beloved, for example, it might be better for them to be in the people of Jannah, or the people of paradise, right? Sometimes, for example, in certain lands, not everywhere, but some scholars, they say that, for example, like a person's house is destroyed in a deluge or a flood or like heavy rain, but that land was in a drought and it needed the water. So it might be shar for that person, but it's khair for the overall good, right? So the hikmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is never questioned. We don't know, why He chooses to take a particular person at a particular time, but we know that it's always good because it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's choosing. Like just today, the brother, Mahdi Bray, I don't know if you know him, we prayed janazah for him at Dar al-Hijrah. SubhanAllah, he suffered a major stroke that people thought he was going to die from, and he came back, and he was healthy, and he walked to the masjid, overcoming this illness and this stroke, walking to the masjid every day. And then SubhanAllah, 2 days ago, he just was changing, I think, to come to the masjid, and he passed away at his house. So the time is prescribed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and hikmah is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we never ask Allah, like, why did you do such and such? Why did you take such and such person? But we, as Muslims, should always be patient. And if you are patient in this loss, Allah will give you, as this hadith says, Jannah. Also, it shows that, like, we're not supposed to wail or have excessive grieving and mourning, and sometimes people hit themselves, some people rip their clothing, some people, why did this happen, and stuff like that. That's not from the adab of a Muslim. We should say, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, Allahumma ajirni fi musibati hadi. Verily it is from Allah, and to Allah is the return. Oh Allah, give me reward in my musibah, like my catastrophe, my hardship. This is what a Muslim should say, and be patient, right? All that excessive, wailing, basically is showing a lack of sabr, a lack of patience, and that way, the person is not attaining the full reward or getting the reward that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised to the one who is patient.